Hey, what is happening guys, Kris here, and in this video I'll be giving you a complete guide to the Goliath monster in Evolve, telling you all about its abilities, its general features and how to use it effectively against the hunters. So the Goliath is the up close and personal brawler of the bunch who chooses to use closer range attacks as opposed to being further away. He can sprint quite quickly for his size and jump over long distances. He's like the Incredible Hulk of Evolve when it comes to his power and size. And when the Goliath reaches stage 3 evolution, he's a serious force to be reckoned with. His abilities include the Fire Breath, Rock Throw, Leap Smash and Charge. The Fire Breath ability shoots out a flamethrower-like plume of fire out of the Goliath's mouth that does burning damage to the hunters for a short period of time. It's best to use this ability against several nearby hunters that are within range of the attack to get the most out of it. The Fire Breath also reveals any cloaked hunters once they've been burnt, so consider using it if a hunter suddenly disappears. The Rock Throw ability is where the monster rips out a giant rock from the planet's surface and launches it towards his enemy. It's a high damage attack with a sizable field of effect. It's one of the Goliath's more powerful abilities and can take a large chunk out of the enemy's health. It's a better attack for hitting a hunter who is a bit more out of reach, or even one who's low on health trying to escape. It takes a few seconds to perform this ability, so it can be quite predictable when the Goliath is about to throw a rock. So you're best using it in open areas where there's nowhere for the hunter to hide behind. I'd recommend using this ability quite a lot, as you can easily take out your enemies quickly if your aim is on target. You should also use the Rock Throw on other larger forms of wildlife to damage them easily without taking any damage yourself. This will give you an advantage and make them easier to kill and devour. The Goliath's Leap Smash ability allows him to jump forwards high into the air and ground pound, dealing high splash damage. It's good to use when there's a few enemies all in one place, in front of you, as you can control where the Goliath lands and jump right on top of them all. It's also effective when trying to take out several smaller forms of wildlife when you're hunting. Pouncing on top of a small group of creatures will kill them all fast, allowing you to eat them and evolve more quickly. You could also use this ability to cover distance to and from the hunters, giving you an extra leap when you've run out of stamina. And the charge attack is, as the name suggests, a charge rushing forwards at high speed. The force of the charge can knock back hunters, perhaps a good move to use against those who are getting a bit too close for comfort, specifically the assaults who like to use close range, high damage weapons against you. If you time this ability right, you can even knock enemies off cliffs and into acid pools, so make sure you do this if you can. It's best to hit as many enemies as you can, so if you happen to notice a string of hunters all positioned in a bit of a line, use the charge attack to rush forwards and damage them all. You could also use the charge as a traversal tactic to rush towards and away from threats when you run out of stamina. So of course the Goliath mainly chooses to beat up his foes rather than picking away at them from afar. His brute strength and strong melee attacks are capable of pummelling his enemies to death fairly easily. The best way to use the Goliath to his full potential is to use his close range attacks together, focusing on one hunter at a time, pinning down a few hunters in an area if you can, and taking advantage over his attacks that deal high damage with a large field of effect. Combine chains of your abilities such as using your Rock Throw followed up with a Leap Smash. These high damage attacks chained should be enough to take out the hunters. And of course, when an enemy is low on health, finish them off with a charge or some Fire Breath, or even a few normal hitting attacks. The Goliath has lots of armour and health, so don't be worried about rushing into an enemy to deal lots of close range damage. Though just like all the monsters, it's always best to achieve stage 3 evolution, and make sure that your armour is full by eating as many forms of wildlife as you can. Retreating from battle when your armour is gone and your health is taking impact. So that's my guide to using the Goliath monster successfully in Evolve. Make sure you check out my other guides and content on my channel. Drop me a like if this video was helpful and subscribe to stay updated with all my gaming guides, reviews and videos. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.